Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and boy do we have a lot of reasons to be bullish on XRP. I'm going to show you a lot of them today. In the group today, we're seeing all this talk about Ripple making an offer to buy Circle. Well, let's talk about how that and Hidden Road might affect XRP's price. You can join by going to daixrp.com if you'd want to join through the Patreon, or you can click join right here below any of my YouTube videos if you'd rather join through YouTube. And also, if you still haven't opened a Caleb and Brown account, why haven't you? Because there you get institutional grade custody. You get an actual person you can talk to. All the questions you've had about crypto, you can talk to an actual broker to have those answered and plan your exit strategy. All the things that you need to prepare for. So if you want to open an account, they're one of my partners. I'm an affiliate partner. You can get to my page on Caleb and Brown by going to xrpwealth589.com, or there's a link in the description if you'd rather just click on that. Guess what's coming up in literal days now? XRP Las Vegas.
May is here. Let's get ready for takeoff to XRP Las Vegas 2025, the world's largest XRP conference at the MGM Grand Hotel. The stage is set, and if you've waited this long, now's the time to get your ticket at xrplasvegas.com and check out the conference agenda and see what top industry leaders will be on stage. You'll make valuable connections and learn more about the evolution of finance and Web3. Also, builders and developers will have a shot at $25,000 in prize money with the best Web3 project ideas in a Shark Tank-like pitch. XRP Las Vegas 2025 is weeks away. Get your tickets now, and let's all lock in.
All right, coming up. And look, President Trump's son, Eric, and Donald Jr. will speak at the world's largest Bitcoin conference in Vegas. I said, hey, Eric and Don, come on over to XRP Las Vegas. I know you both own XRP. We'll keep it a secret. If you look at these are World Liberty Financial, which is their company. These are their tokens that they own by market capitalization. This should fascinate everyone. It fascinates me. They own Ethereum, Tether, USDC, Tron, Sui, Chainlink, Ondo, Aave, World Liberty's coin, Athena, SEI, Movement, Lido staked ETH, Wrapped Bitcoin. And you're telling me that these guys don't have exposure to XRP? The same guys that are talking about putting it in a digital asset stockpile? Come on. But what an intriguing question. Why is it that everybody is so afraid to talk about XRP or to acknowledge that XRP is a thing? Folks, it's not hard to add up. This isn't either. Bitcoin Telegraph has still not added XRP Las Vegas to their crypto events hub. I made them aware 2 days ago. I even emailed them, and I'm sure other people did too. But you know what? Once again proves crypto media is controlled journalism, just like the mainstream media. Here's the market today. We've got a 222 XRP. This market has gone above 3 trillion for the first time in months, I believe. I'm telling you, these engines are just, it's like the engines are warming up. You can see it. You can feel it. Now, here's some Bitcoin Maxis. They're having a hard time we've been talking about this for 7 years. Ripple is a behemoth, folks. We need to, in fact, that's a thumbnail. Let me write it down. The Ripple Behemoth. That's what it is. The Ripple Behemoth. Ripple's playing chess, and all these clowns have been playing checkers, and these Bitcoin Maxis uncomfortably are just starting to piece it all together.
Yeah. What was the largest acquisition that just happened? To date, ever.
In crypto? Well, there's the Ripple Ninja Trader one. Excuse me, Kraken Ninja Trader one was 1.5. But Ripple just bought Hidden Road for for 1.25.
Yeah. So the second largest, but let's unpack that.
Yeah.
Especially the Ripple one.
Yeah, Ripple. This one's interesting. So for people who don't know, Hidden Road was started in 2018 by this guy Mark Ash. He was an exec at who's the guy that SAC Capital, Point 72. He's an exec from Point 72. Set up the shop in like global shop, Netherlands, UK. I think they're actually headquartered in the BVI. Shout out Nick Carter. I think they backed them. They led the first round in 2018. Basically, they are an institutional prime brokerage firm, right? So they do clearing, financing. They clear more than $3 trillion annually across markets.
Not just crypto?
Not just crypto. So they actually started as an FX firm and then expanded into crypto. 300 institutional clients, everyone from like Wintermute to Virtu trades on them. Oh. And they're a massive, massive, massive clearinghouse. They don't do any prop trading in-house. Very they promote like conflict-free, very tech-forward. I actually met with one of the founders the other day. A phenomenal firm. And yeah, so they clear like FX, equities, commodities, digital assets, crypto, fixed income, cross-margining capabilities across all of those. Massive firm. They just got bought by Ripple. Just bought them for $1.25 billion.
So what's going inside of Brad's brain when he decided to buy that?
Genius. Ripple willed a not the most what is the polite way to put this? What I think was a very retail driven idea, which is using XRP as a clearance currency.
Right.
Obviously that's never going to work. You can't have like a volatile asset as a clearing currency. Ripple and Brad and David and that whole team willed this basically like silly idea, which was using XRP as a clearance currency, into reality by just, basically shilling this thing for years, getting the token to go up, using the capital, and now building a massive war chest. And they are turning Ripple into a real business.
They will will it into existence.
This thing is I will
give them the most amount of credit because this is what every foundation should be doing. There's
another, I would say the other person who did this strategy is Sergey at Chainlink.
Yes.
Sergey.
While everybody's talking about micro strategy, just like everybody's talking about Bitcoin, XRP's always been the one. Ripple is the company to watch, not micro strategy. Micro strategy is a joke compared to what Ripple's putting together.
Turned a Link, which was a meme coin, into a war chest of capital, into a company that has hundreds of employees and does deals that are 8-figure deals with L1s and L2s.
You will it into existence. And there's always a fake it till you make it kind of thing in every. And there's a fine line of how you walk that.
Yeah. Hidden Road is a extremely legitimate business. And
this is the pitch for inversion, quite literally.
Build a war chest of capital and then acquire real businesses.
100%.
And one thing that's never talked about is what crypto does Ripple own? I've seen tweets that say that Bitcoin was created to fund Ripple. I've seen tweets like that.
I think this is genius. I think Brad, totally. I don't care what people say about Ripple anymore Brad Garlinghouse is a phenomenal operator.
He not just in crypto, he might go down as one of the best.
It's not Michael Saylor, it's Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson.
Evangelist.
But just think about what we're saying. A year ago, I would have been like ragging on Ripple and ragging on. This tells me that they are serious. This is
if you had gotten out of Toyland for a while with your Bitcoin stuff, price go up, and you had listened to the adults in the room, the XRP community, you could have figured it out long ago, but you ignored about it, and all of you ignored it, and you tried to do anything you could to get people to look away.
They might go and become bigger than Ethereum.
They're going to be bigger than Bitcoin. That's it. This is easy to see what's going to happen. And then here's another.
I can follow up with one question, Simon, if you don't mind. Do you see RLUSD, Ripple stablecoin, as being liquid enough for this purpose?
So I think yes. Stable coins are extremely polarized, right? So the reality is that Tether and Circle have been doing a great job for the last 8 years, right? Obviously, it started with Tether, then Circle, and they've been doing great, and they've really been able to allow that global liquidity. That doesn't matter what platform, what pool, what DEX, you can access it, right? Whereas other stable coins, which potentially have better infrastructure, like PayPal's PYUSD, like segregated funds, bankruptcy remote, things like that, which in theory are safer, they haven't been able to get the liquidity that the other two guys have, right? So if you're utilizing RLUSD in order to have it become that type of CBIT, right, which is Customers Bank Instant Settlement Network, to interact with Hidden Road, then you've just created a catalyst for something that you need to drive success, right? So if Hidden Road is doing a good job, if Hidden Road is attracting enough clients, then they'll start using RLUSD as its instant settlement network.
And follow up with one question.
They're all starting to figure it out, aren't they? Look at this. This was a tweet. If Circle turned down $5 billion from Ripple to buy the company, it might live to regret it. Some observations as to why. And Rosalind Layton, who helped out a lot with ETHgate, writing great articles on Forbes, I believe, Dan's right about the urgency for Circle. Acceleration happens in bear markets and innovation turns to conquest in the rebound. The window is closing. Circle is hitting IPO headwinds, and Ripple has cash infrastructure and legal clarity. You see what's going on? Cowboy Crypto pointed out something interesting. If Ripple buys Circle, Circle itself owns all types of major investments, securitized, Skyfire Systems, Rhinestone, and I think he put a more comprehensive list here of some of the things that you can see that. So, I mean, you can see the behemoth that Ripple is becoming. This is not hard to figure out, folks. Smoke put this out. Ripple acquiring Circle would be stablecoin super play. Circle's upcoming IPO filing just exposed a major weakness. Coinbase still takes 50% of USDC's reserve revenue, even after Circle paid $210 million to cut them out of the consortium. This is a massive profit leak, and Ripple has the capital structure incentive to fix it. Here's how it makes sense. Look, 2024, they made this much in revenue. Ripple, on the other hand, has multiple cash flow channels: XRP sales to institutions, cross-border payment fees, interest income, and investments. Ripple doesn't carry the baggage Circle does. If they step in, if Ripple steps in, they look. Let's do the XRP part. Combine XRP's speed with USDC's regulatory acceptance. Folks, you can totally see where this is all going. And then Dom from EZA, who will be at XRP Las Vegas. I'm looking forward to meeting these guys. FYI, Circle IPO valuation is $5 billion, which is the valuation Ripple is looking at when it made the acquisition offer. There's no way Ripple would offer $20 billion for Circle. P.S. I see lots of people saying $5 billion is a low offer since Circle holds $60 billion in collateral for stablecoin it issues. However, that collateral simply backs the coin Circle issues. It does not own that collateral. Circle generates revenue from the interest on the collateral, which is used to calculate the $5 billion valuation. And then this, I said, looks like Ripple's playing chess. Nothing to love in the Circle IPO filing. No idea how it prices $5 billion. Gross margins are getting crushed with distribution costs. Core U.S. market being deregulated. Banks FII is about to crash the private party. Spending over $250 million a year. Compensation, another $140 million in G&A. Core income driver rates topped, heading lower. 90% chance of 2 cuts this year. 32 times 24 earnings for a business that just lost its mini monopoly and facing several headwinds. Feels like a Hail Mary to for some liquidity before the squad rolls. And he's talking about the IPO. This rumor is going around. This is there's no documentation that I've seen of this. This is from Bitcoin Telegraph. Ripple ups bid for Circle from $5 billion to $20 billion after initial offer rejected, aiming to dominate the stablecoin market. I've found no evidence that this is true. So far, it's just a rumor. But if they were going to pay $20 billion, you know what I think? I think a lot of that $20 billion would be paid in XRP. That's just what I think. We're in uncharted territory. Now we're going to go into daixrp.com, which is the Patreon. Click join below this video if you want to join through the YouTube instead. We're going to talk about what matters to all of us. Well, okay, Circle, Hidden Road. Let's say this did happen. What would the XRP price look like in various scenarios? That is where things get interesting. Plus, I've got some major, but I want to show you the reasons that we are so bullish on this market. We are at the precipice, folks. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.